Dear enemies of wars, today we'll talk about Russia's crypto plans. What and why are they executing plans? Also, what are the effects on economy and war? As always, a lot more in this video. Russian lawmakers have bypassed a bill that allows businesses in Russia to perform international trading activities using cryptocurrencies, starting in September this year. The goal, of course, is to remove financial restrictions that Russia is starting to face due, of course, to the invasion into Ukraine. Also, the bill covers regulation and legislation in cryptocurrency mining. However, interestingly, payments with cryptocurrencies within Russia are still banned. So, why are they doing this? What are the motives behind? Well, there are actually a couple of reasons. The primary reason is the one I likely just mentioned. It's to bypass sanctions. Russia is facing severe sanctions that, of course, come when using, for example, SWIFT, and in general transactions with euros and dollars that are closely monitored by Western regulators. And with crypto technology, Russia aims to create an alternative system where they can trade internationally without paying sanctions. Also, they're starting to face economic pressure. They're starting to face economic pressure that was already displayed in delayed payments internationally. And this led to an import decline of 10%. And again, cryptocurrencies are aimed to be not involved with traditional banking, and transactions can be a lot faster with crypto technology, which of course could act as a stabilizer. And of course, what also could be another motive is that they want to become a leader in an upcoming technology. Crypto technology is becoming more and more important. And as Donald Trump already mentioned, nations like China or Russia are fighting for supremacy in upcoming technology, as this, of course, could give them a massive standing in the future. So this might be also another motive to drive more innovation and technology and to improve the economic growth of Russia as a state. But is this actually a good idea? Yes or no? Well, it has pros and cons. On the technological side, it can be an advancement, as transactions are a lot more faster. They're a lot more faster, and this could counteract to the delays, as transactions with cryptocurrencies only take up to a couple hours, not like the traditional banking system that takes up to a couple days. Also, it could act as a stabilizer for imports and exports, which of course could be very important for Russia and some nations that might need foreign products to perform productions. This could act also more as a stabilizer, as trading activities can be a lot faster done. On the con side, well, they may bypass this sanction, but there could be secondary sanctions. There could be secondary sanctions passed by global regulators. And on the other side, there might be still questions regarding the regulatory oversight of cryptocurrency mining. And of course, also another problem that could come is that with blockchain technology, transactions are still visible. And this, of course, could harm privacy that Russia may want. And when looking at the bigger picture, when looking at the effects, for example, economically, it could really act as a stabilizer. It could reduce the import decline that Russia is currently facing. Some experts even compare the cryptocurrency world to the internet world at that time. So if you would really become one of the leading powers, it could, of course, give you a massive shift, not only politically, but also economically. It could drive more innovation. And also, it might mean that there might be more people interested in trading activities, as already El Salvador announced that they're interested in trading with cryptocurrencies with Russia. When looking at the impact regarding the war, of course, the economical one is the biggest one, as of course wars are very expensive. We all know this. And of course, if they can reduce the dependency on Western regulators, and of course, if they can cut and prevent sanctions, that of course could be massively for them economically. Also, in general, I think other countries might be interested, and it might be easier for them to form allies without getting them sanctioned. So I think other countries that have the infrastructure would actually be interested in trading with Russia. When on the other side, looking on the aspects for the technology, if the technology can really advance, it could give Russia a completely new standing. And this could, of course, be very important politically. As what we have seen so far is that those countries who have been among the leaders in a certain technology, they always had a superior political standing and they have more power. As of course, when looking at, for example, SWIFT, the only reason this is possible is that nations that, like the United States, are so far ahead in technology, and this of course gives them a major power. And of course, Russia wants to fight against that power. They also want to become very powerful. So when looking at the future, I think this can have a couple of very interesting aspects. As of course, it could mean that other nations could see this as an example. Other nations that also don't want to be very dependent on the United States, for example, on the dollar or on the euro. This of course could serve as an example, and it might lead to other countries also following and adopting more cryptocurrency. However, it is a very interesting idea. It is a very interesting idea as, while traditionally the United States and Western regulators had a lot of power, however, with cryptocurrencies, because there is no banking involved, because it's peer-to-peer, because it's decentralized, it could mean that they're losing power and influence. And of course, it makes it also easier for other unions to trade internationally that also might be in danger to face sanctions. So in conclusion, I think it's a very interesting idea that Russia has. Well, it actually makes sense. They're facing economic pressure. And they want an alternative system to not be so dependent on a Western nation. They don't want to be so dependent on the dollar, on the euro. And of course, they also don't want to lose money because of sanctions. So it's very interesting. Also regarding the technological aspect, with cryptocurrency mining, Russia could be actually very successful, as of course they have a lot of energy resources. And if they become really successful, it could mean that they have more economic diversification that could make it possible. Of course, while we all know that Russia is very big, for example, in oil and gas, it could mean more diversification for their economic growth. As if, of course, with cryptocurrency mining, like Bitcoin mining, it could also mean another source of income in an upcoming technology where it's still possible to take supremacy. And regarding the war, I think it could help them to, of course, have more economic resources and, of course, to make payments quicker, which, of course, could also, for example, with partnerships, makes it easily possible to transfer amounts of money quicker, and, of course, without having to worry about transactions being blocked or being cancelled or whatever. So, of course, this is still the idea. However, of course, I don't promote Russia's actions. I don't promote Russia's actions as a state against the Ukraine. I would just want to say that in the end. However, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Russia's technological aspect. What do you think about Russia implementing cryptocurrency plans? About Russia potentially, maybe even overtaking cryptocurrencies? Let me know what you think. Also, make sure to check out my previous videos that I recently uploaded. That's it for today. I will see you in the next video.